are meditating. Welcome to the 2023 Gainey Cup competition. The Gainey Cup is named in honor of Command Sergeant Major William Joe Gainey. Command Sergeant Major Gainey served as the first senior enlisted advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. As the most senior non-commissioned officer in the Department of Defense, Command Sergeant Major Gainey advised the Chairman on matters of professional development of enlisted personnel assigned to joint positions. Command Sergeant Major Gainey retired from the United States Army in 2008 after more than 32 years of active service. In honor of its namesake, the Gainey Cup competition is a biannual competition hosted by the Commandant of the United States Army Armor School and includes command-selected scout squads from U.S. Cavalry formations and allied nations. Encompassing a week of physically and mentally demanding events, the Gainey Cup competition showcases the competence, physical and mental stamina, and competitive spirit of Cavalry Scout troopers serving in the formations that perform reconnaissance and security. Gainey Cup winners are recognized as the best scout squads in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the 2023 Gainey Cup, Brigadier General Thomas M. Felty.
Thanks everyone, distinguished visitors, international allies, former chiefs of our branch, Sergeant Major of the Army, Preston. Everybody. Thank you so much for for coming today. We are, and all of our contributors and sponsors of this event. You all are what really makes this event special for all of our young soldiers who are getting ready to go through this pretty arduous test of their reconnaissance and security skills. So you kind of heard in the back room, like someone had to tell them to be quiet, right? It's kind of like, not that I grew up in, around rodeos, but it's kind of like a rodeo. The horses, like they're ready to run. They're ready to go. And just this morning watching, the energy in all of those young soldiers, they are ready to go. They're ready to showcase all of their skills in reconnaissance and security, across the Army, because they all want to win. Every single one of those teams want to win. And so while we're out here, I just ask that all of you just kind of give them a big warm welcome as they come out here representing their units, their countries, and their regiments. And a special thanks to Joe Gainey, who this competition is named after, right? That is just... Cindy. Oh, Cindy Gainey too. Cindy. But George always disrupting things, but this is, as he was out there this morning, so 0 dark 30, we're out there, it's just a little bit chilly, and we're warming up. There's really, even George the Stereo wasn't there this morning, because it was a little chilly for him. But who was out there in short sleeve shirt, walking the line, motivating each and every team? It was Sergeant Major Gainey, and he was out there, and it is just, it's his presence that ultimately makes this competition, and we're so blessed to have you here, for yet another year, so thanks so much. So without further ado, let's start introducing the teams. Whoa.
This year's competition began this morning with the recon run and stress shoot. Based upon team scores from those two groups, squads will be able to select which competitive group in which the remaining competition events are ordered. The sequence of events is not to be taken lightly, as physical and mental strain will have a significant influence on team success. Competition groups are named in honor of 3 cavalry heroes from the 2009 Battle of Camp Keating. Group Carter is named in honor of Medal of Honor recipient Staff Sergeant Ty Carter. Self-selected squads from this group will resume competition tomorrow morning with the route reconnaissance, area reconnaissance, and screening mission lanes. Group Romashaw is named in honor of Medal of Honor recipient Staff Sergeant Clinton Romashaw. Self-selected squads from this group will resume competition tomorrow morning with land navigation, medical aid lane, and a vehicle identification lane using small unmanned aerial surveillance. Group Galejos is named in honor of Distinguished Service Cross recipient Staff Sergeant Justin Galejos. Self-selected squads from this group will resume competition tomorrow morning with the obstacle course, communication lane, call for fire event, and weapons lane. Groups will execute all lanes through competition on Wednesday and Thursday. Please refer to the Gainey Cup brochure for additional information on all spectator events and information on public parking and bus transport. This year's competition will culminate in the final charge on York Field, where a 2-mile run will be followed immediately by the completion of 7 performance lanes evaluating critical scout tasks. Upon completion, all events the Ardbert School Commandant will host the award ceremony in the Marshall Auditorium and recognize the best Scout squad in the world. Following the closing ceremony, all are encouraged to celebrate this year's competition in a public barbecue. Cost for the barbecue is $25 per person. We ask that you please register and pay for the event through the awards lunch link on the Gainey Cup website. Throughout the competition, we will provide competition updates and updated crew scores on the shown social media pages throughout the week. The Gainey Cup Facebook, the Ardbert School Facebook, and the Fort Benning webpage. Before we introduce this year's Scout Squad, we want to thank all organizations who have supported tonight's event. In particular, we wish to recognize the leadership and staff of the 316th Cavalry Brigade who has been responsible for putting this year's competition together. Please join us in a round of applause for all others who have contributed to this year's event. Without further ado, let us now meet the 2023 Gainey Cup Scout Squads. Squads will be introduced in ranking order based upon their current standings in earlier events. As each squad is introduced, the squad leader will place their unit patch on the sequencing board and identify their chosen pathway from the remaining competition. Without further ado, representing the 2nd Squadron, 106th Cavalry Regiment, the 33rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team, and Illinois Army National Guard. Anywhere, at any time.
Please.
Representing the 4th Squadron, 2nd Cavalry Regiment. Toujours prêt. Representing the 42nd Brigade Reconnaissance Company in the Netherlands 13th Light Brigade. Representing the 1st Squadron, 73rd Cavalry Regiment, and the 2nd Brigade, 82nd Airborne Division. Honor, fidelity, courage. Representing the 1st Battalion, 5th Cavalry Regiment, and the 2nd Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division.
Go. Go.
Loyalty and courage. Representing the 6th Squadron, 8th Cavalry Regiment, and the 1st Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division. Honor and courage.
Yeah. Tear the house. Break it. That's it. Aggressive. Break stuff. Shoot it. All right. Ooh.
Representing the 2nd Squadron, 1st Cavalry Regiment, and the 1st Brigade, 4th Infantry Division.
Back off.
Courageous and faithful. Representing the 5th Squadron, 1st Cavalry Regiment, and the 1st Brigade, 11th Airborne Division. Courageous and faithful. Representing the 2nd Squadron, 14th Cavalry Regiment, and the 2nd Brigade, 25th Infantry Division. Surveys Long.
Good job.
Representing the 1st Squadron, 14th Cavalry Regiment, and the 1st Brigade, 7th Infantry Division. Surveys Long. Representing the 4th Squadron, 3rd Cavalry Regiment. Brave Rifles.
Veterans.
Representing the 1st Squadron, 91st Cavalry Regiment, and the 173rd Airborne Brigade. Alert. Representing the 1st Armored Cavalry Squadron and the Irish Defence Forces. Through the mud, the blood, and the green fields beyond.